What's up? It's Rashaud, and I am joined by Grammy Award winning. He's from the band The Bleachers. Fun. His name is Jack Antanoff. Welcome, Jack.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm also from New Jersey.
Yes, that is actually probably the most important thing.
Well, I don't know. For you, yes. For others, no.
It made it to your Twitter bio that you're from Jersey.
Well, I think it's important.
Yeah.
It really informs my music and a lot of things.
Awesome. We have to talk about that, how being from New Jersey has influenced your music. But you're relatively fresh from Coachella.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm fresh from Coachella.
Well, it's been a couple days.
Yeah. I'm destroyed by Coachella, but I was just there.
So I've never been to Coachella. How was it?
It was fun. I mean, I just stopped in because I was in the studio near there, so I just kind of went in for the night, and I really wanted to see LCD Sound System and Borns, who's actually playing my festival. It was good. I don't do well with dust. I'm from a long line of people,
don't do well with
Jews, that don't do well with like elements.
Okay.
So it was tough for me. And I took a red eye home.
Yeah.
But it was nice. I really love festivals. I love playing festivals. I love going to festivals. That's why I started a festival.
Right.
I think it's a great culture, and I think when massive amounts of people get together to see different kinds of music is one of like the last pure things in the world.
Yeah. I was reading an article, and the headline was Taylor Swift and her girl squad, because there was a picture with you and her and Lorde poolside.
Okay.
Now, for some reason, I guess, whoever wrote the article didn't include that you were a guy there.
Yeah.
But what was the atmosphere like? Were you guys at a house, or were you in the middle of the desert?
We were just hanging out at a house.
Okay.
I just kind of went as a bunch of friends.
Got
it. It was nice. I was on a long trip. I'd been in Atlanta and then Portland and then Las Vegas. I'd had to go all over and do all this different studio stuff, and it just ended, kind of hanging out with some friends.
Got it. So no crazy Coachella debauchery.
No.
Okay, good.
I mean, I don't know if there was.
You weren't involved?
No, there was. I mean, maybe I don't know.
Okay.
I was pretty tame at that point. I've been in the studio so much, I don't really know if I have enough space to
do something crazy.
Get out of my mind.
Yeah. So you're talking about being with some amazing people. You're with Taylor Swift, with Lorde. Let's talk about you working with these amazing artists. For Rachel Platten. Stand By You, amazing song. Sarah Bareilles, of course, Troye Sivan, we know Out of the Woods from Taylor Swift. Who else is on your list of pop stars to work with?
Well, it's funny working with people because it's always like, you never know what's going to be a good fit. Right. It's not always like, sometimes when you're asked to do something that's outside of your comfort zone, you actually do the best job.
Got it.
So
okay.
It's just a weird thing. I mean, I've always been the hugest fan of Robin. That's the only one I can think of that I haven't worked with that I would really love to one day.
Yeah.
But you never know what's going to make it work.
Right.
And sometimes things that should work perfectly just don't work.
Who didn't work out?
I can't say.
Okay.
It'll become like a headline.
Oh. That's what we were looking for, Jack. That's what we're looking for. Do you prefer working and collaborating with other people on their music, or do you... It is a little hot in here, is it?
It's boiling, but I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Do you prefer working with other people on their music, or all about you and your own music?
Well, with Bleachers, when I'm doing my records, I sort of look at it like this. Like, Bleachers is something that's a part of me, and so that comes from this place where it's like a very intense solitary process, and then everything else I do is something that I'm a part of.
Got it.
So like if I work with someone else, I'm kind of giving them a little, pieces, and we're working together. But Bleachers is just like, it's sort of like, coming from the center of me.
Right.
So it's pretty different in terms of Bleachers is like a diary.
Right. Okay. How is it that you do these amazing pop songs, but is that your main because the Bleachers, the music is so different from Brave and Out of the Woods. Mm-hmm. Have you ever thought about doing a Bleachers album that is full on pop?
Well, it's weird because the way I see my work in pop is I always think like when I work with someone like Taylor or like like working with Sarah, or I've done stuff with Tegan, Sarah, people like that. Like I always want to do the songs on those records that are sort of the most left.
Okay.
And lean in such a different direction. So I like, whether it's Bleachers or someone else I'm working with, I always want to push things to a place that's more unexpected.
Got it.
But I also think the landscape of pop is changing so much. Like
very much so.
Like, pop at the center of it just really means popular, right?
Right.
So, when I was growing up, Green Day was on pop radio.
Right.
And now you don't really hear stuff like that on pop radio anymore. But I think the landscape, and you guys are at a station, so like it's just shifting in such weird places.
Right.
And these weird songs come up. And those are my favorite songs, like when Lord put out Royals, or like when the Gaudier song, or Daft Punk, Get Lucky, like the ones that sound like nothing else are almost the ones that I'm sure you work in a station, like you're the most excited when those you get to play
it's
those.
Very different.
And that's kind of how I see Bleachers, which is like I'd rather stay the course of what I'm doing and be like the weird odd moment on the radio rather than like
the outlier,
then shift it to fit into anything.
Got it. Who are you working with now that in the pop world that you're kind of trying to change the sound or be different with?
I've never it's weird. I'm working with a bunch of things, but it's always hard to talk about it.
Okay.
You never want to like give up people's secrets yet.
Got it.
A lot of exciting stuff.
Awesome. So you are working on the Bleachers album.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through it.
When can we expect it? Has a date been announced?
No, and I mean I have a date in my head, but I always feel like dates are designed to sort of like disappoint people. So it kind of it'll just come.
Got it. Whenever.
Soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
2016.
I'd like that. I mean, it's where I'm closer than it seems.
Okay.
Than I'm giving it credit for.
All right. Let's talk about our great state of New Jersey.
Yeah. Well, that's why I wanted to have a festival.
Yes.
In New Jersey.
Right.
Because I love Jersey so much.
It's an amazing state.
It's an amazing state because it's right outside of the greatest city in the world.
Right.
This is where the name Shout of the City for the festival comes from. And so the most important places, in my opinion, happen right outside the greatest places because you feel outside of it.
Right.
And so it creates this like hope and this feeling and this excitement, like an excitement to try things and to imagine what like life is in New York. So, so you do things growing up in New Jersey. There's an excitement that you don't have if you grew up in New York City. I went to high school in New York City.
Right.
All the kids I met there were very like had seen it all, had done it all, and all my friends in Jersey were so much more like inspired and excited.
Yeah.
In a way. And so that to me, being from here, making music here, I always wanted to have a music festival here because growing up, I would have to go to New York City to see all the shows.
Right.
Because there's a radius clause when you play a show, so bands can't play.
I didn't know that. Okay.
All over the place. So every band's going to play New York City.
Right.
But not every band's going to come to New Jersey because usually it's in the contract they can't.
Got it.
So I always had this dream of having a music festival specifically in New Jersey.
Got it. Now, but you live in Brooklyn now. Why don't
I have to. I couldn't convince my girlfriend to live in New Jersey.
Your girlfriend being Lena Dunham, by the way. You're being very modest about that. So do you plan on getting a house out here?
I'd like to get a shore house at some point. I mean, I guess you either grow up going to the Jersey Shore, or if you're from New York, some people go to the Hamptons, and I'm not really a Hamptons vibe. I grew up going to Long Beach Island.
Got it.
And Asbury Park and Seaside. Of
course.
The festival this year is in Seaside.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to do it there. That is my kind of home area.
Yeah. So if you were bringing someone to Jersey for the first time, where on this shore would you take them?
I take them to the boardwalk.
Yep.
I take them to Asbury Park. I take them to Long Beach Island. On Long Beach Island, I take them to Fantasy Island, which is the theme park.
Right.
Now I would take someone to Broad Street Donut Company because that's my new favorite place after being there today.
Yeah.
But really, the boardwalk on Seaside is so quintessentially Jersey Shore.
Of course.
Which is very thrilling to have the show right there this summer.
Yeah. So this Shadow of the City Festival, June 18th, the 1975 Carly Rae Jepsen Borns. There's going to be a Steel Train reunion.
Yeah.
Now you guys haven't played since 2013. A couple shows then.
Yeah.
Why are we bringing it back now for the Shadow of the City?
So last year, Shadow of the City, Bleachers headlined it.
Right.
And it's my festival, so I always want to be a part of it.
Sure.
In a very physical sense, but I don't want to headline it every year because,
it becomes this is a Bleachers thing instead of.
And it's not a Bleachers thing. It's a me/Jersey thing.
Exactly.
And so I was thinking, do I do it with some friends? Do I create some weird band? And then it just popped in my head, what if Steel Train just played a show?
Wow.
And I was just in bed, and I just texted the guys. And that's what's cool about the festival is it's very organic. The lineup, the idea, it's all just sort of me and my friends who I work on it with just coming up with cool ideas.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's very special about this festival is I'm not someone who only does a music festival. So I don't put food on my table from doing a music festival.
Right.
So my goal here is not to get rich. My goal is to make an awesome event in New Jersey.
Yeah.
To create something that I would want to go to and I would want to play, and basically to create something that I wish existed when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And so I think that gives us a lot of freedom to not overblow it and make it something that is really awesome and and in a culture where like there's festivals popping up everywhere and everyone's got this next like big 100,000 person festival. It's like my goal was to create like a party for, you know, my friends on the boardwalk kind of.
That's awesome.
And just invite a couple thousand people.
Why the move from Asbury Park to Seaside?
Seaside Boardwalk is, well, Shadow of the City is always meant to sort of celebrate New Jersey as a whole.
Right.
And we were just looking at it this year and thinking like, well, that'd be so cool if it was on really the beach. It was the big draw. Because this opportunity came up where we're like, we can have, the show is literally going to be on the beach. And that's pretty extraordinary. Like, I've never been to a festival on the beach.
Yeah.
And, you know, anything that further ties it to New Jersey, the boardwalk is, like I said, so quintessentially New Jersey. Being on the beach, just you know, it's not like you start a festival, you pick a spot, and then you just turn it out every year. Like, doing it the second year and doing it going forward is all about like, how do we make it better? How do we make it better? How do we make it even cooler? I mean, it's just an amazing first year.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting for us to be able to say like, okay, this year it's going to be even cooler because now it's on the beach and it's by the boardwalk.
And aside from that, the move from Asbury to Seaside and having it on the beach, what other differences will there be from last year to this year? How are you making it better?
We're bringing back the stuff that was great and improving on other things. So like, for example, like we had a charity dunk tank last year, which is just like a dumb idea that me and someone who's sitting in this room thought of. And then it was like the coolest thing. We raised like thousands of dollars for this youth LGBT shelter in New Jersey, and it was like this really cool fun thing that was going on in between sets. So like that we're going to do bigger and better. And
awesome.
I love anything that's like absurd and silly and raises money for charity.
Right.
You know, one thing that was amazing about last year was it was one stage. So everyone saw everything.
Right.
We had amazing food last year. This year we're bringing back like all the great food and just looking at what worked great and what was exciting.
Now, it seems as though, like, in the years to come, it might change locations, right? Or the location of the festival itself. So last year was Asbury. Yeah. This year Seaside. Is it a plan to, okay, next year we're going to bring it to Atlantic City?
Well, you know, the heart and soul of the festival is that it exists on the Jersey Shore.
Got it.
And that's what I want people to rely on, is that we're going to do this thing celebrating New Jersey on the, you know, celebrating the Jersey Shore, this area, you know, which should get so much more music than it does.
Right.
But a second year of festival is a funny time because it's like the first year, it's just like a crazy idea.
Right.
And then the second year, it's like, oh, this really exists.
Yeah, we're doing this thing.
Yeah. So we're building it and we're just trying to do it right and create something that people look forward to all year.
Awesome. And finally, any surprises or special guests that you could tell us about now? I mean, we're about 2 months away from the show.
There will be, but I can't tell you about them now.
Oh, Jack,
but I will
you're
say
killing me.
That it's, you know,
so secretive.
I know, but it's more fun that way.
Yeah,
for everyone.
Awesome. So June 18th, the Shadow of the City Festival going to be on the beach, Seaside Heights, 1975. Carly Rae Jepsen, Borns. You're going to be there with your band Steel Train.
I'm also going to get in that dunk tank,
which is going to be amazing, raising thousands of dollars. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the support, guys.
Absolutely. It's Jack Antanoff, everyone.